Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Settlement Survival. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. At the end of our last episode, we were a little short on a couple of materials. Since then, I have done a handful of trades, and I have acquired us the materials that we were missing to create our bathhouses. So now we have 2 bathhouses up and running in the town, residents in range plus 50% health. And you can see if we go up here, we're at health tier 2, 114%. So we are headed in the right direction with our health, with the addition of bathhouses. It's been really great. We were also working on gathering some salt at the end of the last episode. We have our little salt works working over here. I have 2 people in there right now trying to get us some more salt because we are using it in a few spots in order to make soap. So we learned something new, that we have to now have salt in order to make soaps. It's no longer just fat. So now we have salt soaps going on in the town. You can see here that they aren't being made that many per year. So we may need to add another worker in here, maybe a couple more soap workshops, but we'll have to see how that kind of plays out. I've taken in one more batch of immigrants since the last time I saw you. We're still doing okay with food, but we're watching it. But I've added a few little things into the town. You can see right here, we have kind of a warehouse way right now. We had this warehouse that was pretty full, and I thought this was a decent spot for a few more because it's kind of in the middle of our town. So we have 6 total warehouses. Might be a little excessive, but it fits nice in there, so I figured why not. So we have that set up. I've been trying to do a lot more houses to try and get rid of the more people wanting more houses dialogue box that was showing up. So over here, we have a bunch more still to be built homes. On this side, we have a whole bunch that we added in this left side over here. And then finally on our right side, we have filled this in pretty much as good as that we can get with homes. Also over here on the farms. So I was doing trading, as I mentioned, and we did manage to get to tier 1 with both Rania and Carlos. And because we got with Carlos, we are now able to make cactuses. So we have a couple farms going right now that are using cactus seeds to grow us cactuses. Currently have 231 in reserves, and we are waiting for the cactus workshop to get finished here. It looks like it just needs a handful more materials, and then of course getting hammered on. So it's on the way right now. We'll be able to check that out shortly. I currently do have 1 caravan out going to Rania. We are going to sell some coffee beans. We had a good handful saved up, and some timber. Timber has been my go-to to sell. It's not the highest profit to sell, but I have so much of it right now. It's just a good thing to use up, and it's renewable, so it works out pretty well. We're also buying 3 cats from Rania. You can see here, these guys are kind of expensive, 2,600 monies. And so we'll make that back up when we go and turn around and sell to Carlos. But I gotta wait for the cats to get back here so that we can bring them over there to Carlos. So with Rania, I'm selling the coffee, buying cats, and with Carlos, I've just been kind of, selling the cats, of course, and then also selling timber. Just trying to get our reps up as high as that we can get, and in the hope of getting toward rope experience for our research institutes. That is the goal right now. So we're getting there. We have about 150 to go yet in our reputation with Carlos until we hit level 2. So what I kind of want to be doing kind of passively here in this episode is doing the stuff in the background, trading with Rania, trading with Carlos, and working on those reps, getting that rep grind out going and getting those higher for us. I'm currently waiting on a 3rd tech point. I'm not going to grab it just yet. There's something that I want to do. Instead of going right to the trading technologies, I want to go visit the science technologies. And, actually, we should check this. So previously, now that I think of it, I forget they changed some stuff on us. So previously, if we grabbed Academy after 3 points, we would get 3 back. And that is still the case. So yes, what I was going to say is, instead of going into trades and filtering down and getting to what we want with trades, I was going to wait until we have 3 points, go ahead and go into science, grab education efficiency, boarding school, and academy. Now, at this time, the boarding school and the academy don't really do anything for us. We can't get to the furniture and steel yet. We could trade, of course, but I'm probably not going to utilize them right away. The thing I care about, education efficiency. The schools can use paper to increase efficiency by 100%. Now we could also, of course, go into paper here and start using our timber and reeds for that instead. Maybe that's the thing that we want to do. So maybe I won't go all the way down to academy. Maybe we'll wait until we have 1 more point, and then we'll grab paper, and then we'll start working on this little thing that we got going on here. We'll see what I end up doing. The paper would help to provide us with the increased amount of tech points that I'm looking for from the rope, so we'll be able to do it earlier. You know, let's do it right now. Let's grab that paper. Let's get paper set up, and maybe by the time that we're done setting up paper, we'll be able to get down to Academy and then go back into the trades and get those going. Okay, so services. We come over here and we will have our paper mill. Now these guys are going to use reeds or timber into paper. And as I had mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we have tons of timber, so we're going to go ahead and take advantage of that. I'm going to go ahead and just put the one in for now. The planks should have that. Stone and iron ore should be good to go. It's going to take a little bit to clear it out and, of course, get it built up. I noticed that this research institute is out of workers, so we are going to have to find somebody to get into that. With the trade caravans, of course, they're taking up 4 people a trip. We don't have enough workers to set it up, so we have to wait a little bit longer to get that going. And also, I'm noticing that our food is all of a sudden plummeting, so we got to get that figured out. Over here, we got our cactus workshop completed, so let's go ahead and check out what the new things are for the cactus workshop, if there are new things. So cactus cuts, medicinal powder, and fodder. These are all, the medicinal powder is different. There was a medicinal thing in here before. It wasn't medicinal powder, but there was something similar. Right now, I want to get into cactus cuts because, just like mentioned, our food. So let's go ahead and do that. Previously, cactus cuts would be a very, very powerful food source quantity-wise. We would be getting 1,000 plus annually cactus cuts. The hunger is okay. Let's see, hunger is 8, happiness is 20. In comparison, oats are also 820. So they're not super great. They're the same level as plain old oats, but the quantity you would get from the cactus workshop making the cactus cuts was so worth it. We'll see what the updated numbers look like here pretty soon. And we have to do it pretty soon because that number is getting very low very quickly. So it is harvest time, so maybe that will bounce back a little bit. We should be able to harvest most of these goodies over here. Probably not the flax and the sugar, but I'm not terribly worried about those. Maybe I'm just considering perhaps taking out one of these sugarcane farms. Oh, the workers. I'll leave the farm there. But look at this. 12,510 sugarcane stored up. Yeah, we don't really need that much. And the reason why I was thinking about taking some of these people out of here was to fill these back up to 4. These 2 here are at 3 out of 4 workers. We need these to be 4 out of 4 to really benefit as much as possible from the workers here. So I want to upgrade that for sure. And I'm looking here. This transfer station looks pretty full, and our warehouse is pretty full. So we are going to need another warehouse. Let's go ahead and we'll add that in right there. And, well, since the road kind of works pretty great, we'll tie that in back there as well. So we'll wait for that to get built up. That'll be good. And then that should help the efficiency over here. Because look at this, we're losing a bunch of these plants. Construction material consumption -10 and new citizens acquired. We're going to go ahead and get into new citizens. And yep, there goes the farm. So we're going to go ahead and fill those in. I will swap this to oats and then we'll add one more worker in there. And we'll do that instead. We might as well do this other sugarcane farm the same. It'll help our food issues a little bit. Paper mill that we put in is ready to go, it looks like. So let's go ahead and we'll go up to paper. We have timber here and water, of course, and then that goes into paper. I am going to exclude the reeds because we're using reeds in a variety of other places. We'll go ahead and get the paper started, and then we'll go to our institutes, and we have to come to each one of these and select over here, paper, yes. So we'll do that for all of our institutes we've got right here. All right, our institutes are paperified, and now once they get created, we'll be able to utilize those in our research institutes and the schools, and that's going to hasten our point gain significantly. It'll be really worth it. We also put in a couple of bread shops in the last episode, and they are working pretty good. I just wanted to highlight these. So these ceremonial breads were for the church. So I believe if we come up over here to our church that we do have this selected to use ceremonial bread. So that's good. If we had a really big food problem, I would probably toggle this off to save the food for, not starving. So we'll probably do that if we have to. I've noticed that I'm sitting around 30 people pretty often in the middle of the winter like this who are freezing. And I feel like the only way that to get that fixed is when they run into their homes to get warm. Before, I thought the boiler rooms were kind of a substitute for the homes where you could just kind of place them and they could go to the boiler room instead of going to a house to warm up. But it doesn't seem to be the case, as we saw a few episodes ago when we had our boiler room over here. They would just run right past it. So I may need to add in maybe another little village down over here or something. Just some more spots for the people to get warm more quickly. Maybe that's what this marquee could really be used for. Can be placed outside of the marketplace's control zones, but can't be upgraded. It says suitable as makeshift settlements for immigrants. Could be good. I'm not sure. It's something new that we could try out. But we have that plan that we want to get into with our science and our trades in this episode. So we're just going to hold up this a little bit. I'm going to grab education efficiency, because we might as well. We're starting to make paper now. And we'll get the boarding school as well. So one more point, we'll grab academy, and then we're going to go jump into trades. And for the, what is this? Researchers in town found that a bug brought by immigrants mainly fed on weeds in the fields, which can increase the yield of crops. They wanted to make the use of this bug to boost the field yield, but they knew little about its species. Provide them experimental sites for research. Introduce more books to help. We're going to provide them with sites, and we're going to get the tech point we need. Excellent. Good timing, game. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we'll grab Academy. That's going to allow us to have 3 more points. The Academy is pretty good. Let's see, what does it say here? Allows more students to study, and it also has rapid development. Development is rapid, and you gain 3 technology points. That's the passive that we just got. That's why we got the 3 points. And now, to trades. So we got insurance, which is great. And the next thing I want to do is get to quick preparation. This is going to improve the preparation efficiency of traders, so that they can now carry more items and move faster. Superior insurance, lower the price for buying it and increases the payout. Awesome. And finally, well-known reputation. Your honest trade with factions make you more famous. Reputation gained from trading with various factions increased by 25%. That's pretty significant. And when you're trying to raise rep, any little bit help. That's why I wanted to grab that. But of course, we're waiting on a few more people so that we can continue trading. We do have another batch of immigrants nearly here. Those people might have to be put onto the fields to help make some more food for us here. We're getting pretty low. I'm also just seeing that our water is also in the red again. We were doing pretty good with water for a while once we built this new area you guys helped me out with. So it looks like our reservoirs are kind of running out of space. Oh, let's go over here. This will work. And we're going to go put in a couple more reservoirs over here just to make sure that we got enough water coming in. Okay, so we do have 4 laborers, which is pretty good just for now. Once we get a little bit closer to these immigrants getting here, maybe I'll put those people to work into caravan just to get it started. We want to have some laborers around for when people die, they get replaced like this. So I want to have that, make sure that we continue to do that. It is May time now, and we should have people out on our fields, and it looks like that is the case. We had mentioned previously about upgrading some of our fields with hose, the iron tool here, but we didn't have a ton in reserves. Now we're doing pretty great with iron tools. You can see we have 480 stored up right now. And I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll put a couple of these into the farms here. Anything at this point to help us with our goings-ons. I don't want to have to build a whole bunch more farms for the food. We may have to. Those 4 farms are now upgraded with hose, and they'll be able to work a little bit more efficiently. But holy cow, let's see. Where's our oats? They don't have spoilage. I was gonna say, did they spoil or something? Yeah, look at that. It just plummeted. So that's weird. You usually see that with like a batch of immigrants getting there because obviously there's more people to feed, but we didn't have that. Oh, maybe we did, because we had that +8 that we got from the administrator plus the last batch that got here. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe I just went a little bit too wild with our immigrants, which is causing a food shortage, which of course is not good. So we're gonna have to get that figured out here pretty quickly. Looks like we got our 2 reservoirs built already. 3rd one's almost completed. It is so nice to have goods stored up. Put the building down that you want to build and they get to it right away, and then you're good to go. Super nice to have that. Yeah, I may put in another little village kind of like this over here, like we have been doing for over here and over here as well. Just kind of repeat that same theme. I'm kind of curious on our cactus cuts. How long have they been going here? So last year we got 350. It's hard to know at what point last year that started, but so far this year, 250. So it is August, so these seem like they aren't quite as good as before, but I do only have 1 worker in there, so you might have to put 4 people in there and see what that looks like. So I got this set up with Carlos with our new trade technologies that we learned. We're going to go ahead and sell 4 cats to Carlos and a handful of timber. Gonna make a good amount of money, and then of course we're gonna go ahead and visit Rania But this issue that comes up sometimes, if you don't pause your game when you're trying to set up a trade, as you can see, we had 4 when we started, and now we're down to 2 laborers, so we cannot form this because we need 4 people. But we do have some immigrants that are here, so we're going to go ahead and grab those people, and then we'll have to reset this up. Not too big of a deal. All right, and then we'll go ahead and we'll send that off, and we will have some more caravan rep coming in. With 17 laborers now, like we mentioned, we need to put these guys making us some food or something here. So let's go ahead, and we need some more water as well. We're in the red. So we'll put another worker in this reservoir, and we'll put another one here, and we'll just leave this one ready for now, but not working yet. Okay, and then up over here, we have a couple more farms that we aren't utilizing just yet. Oh, and one right here too. Let's go ahead and we'll put this one as oats, put a 4th one in there, get these guys assigned, and let's go ahead and do that again as well. So we have a bunch of cactuses over here I set up. We have a good store, so I'm not going to keep cactuses. I'm going to go ahead and swap these to oats, and then we'll swap this one to oat as well, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get these up started up. That will be all of our workers, it looks like. Maybe I'll hold off on that last farm just because of the number of laborers we have. We have 2 more farms set up. We'll see where that puts us as far as food goes. We absolutely may need to do some more adjustments. That's crazy how fast that changed on us. All of a sudden we need some food now, and we were well over 10,000 at one point. We could absolutely put a couple more fishing docks in, take use of the water here that we have. We'll go ahead and we'll put that one down right there, and we'll do that since these aren't too terribly expensive to get operating. And I need to set up that little marketplace over here, so maybe we'll do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll do that. I'll get the marketplace set up over here since we have so much going on over here now, and we probably need a couple more homes anyways. All right, we have our little spot laid out. Just our standard service buildings over here right now: a clinic, chapel, bathhouse, and then the latrine now. So we are gonna need to get some more bedding sets from one of our traders, which isn't gonna be that big of a deal. I just gotta remember to do it and grab the right thing, of course. Ooh, it looks like we have another admin that has expired, so let's go ahead and change that. Pasture yield plus 10 new livestock acquired cattle. Ooh, cattle would be, kind of neat, but we don't really need it. Let's go ahead and do pasture yield plus 10%. We are currently getting a pretty good amount of food from our pastures, so just to increase it, why wouldn't you? So we're gonna go ahead and do that, get those things on the way here. Let's double check our trip time. We're about halfway there for our caravans. So now we're at 0 labor, so that's why I wanted to check the trading post here and see how close we were to getting our people back. We are having people die now and not being replaced, and that leaves holes which can come back to bite you depending on who dies. For example, this police station sitting here with nobody, as well as this clinic sitting here with nobody, and that means we lose our positive effect of the clinic on this area. So our health takes a hit. Remember we were at well over 100 and now we're at 86? That's part of it. So we have to find somebody to replace that person pretty quickly here. We should do that sooner than later, I think. We do have, oh, well, here we go. We can put 2 more of these people from this. We're going to go ahead and assign these to fish because these need to be assigned. And then we'll come up over here and we're going to put one of our, we had 3 there for a second, 3 laborers into this clinic to make sure that this is working for us again. I will absolutely have to replace the police station worker as well. It's just not as prevalent, not as important to me as the clinic, so we'll get that going. Now, we do have another tech point. We could start to get into something here. It looks like the theater is looking for the process of weaving as its next little thing it needs. And that's, of course, to create some costumes that it's going to be needing to be created. So if we come over here to weaving, we could grab this. We have tons of flax saved up. We could get this started. This would be a decent thing to have going on, I think. So let's go ahead. We'll grab the textile mill here, the weaving tech, and we'll get some of these set up. We should be able to grab them right here. So there is a water version with greater efficiency. We could do this since we have this little area that we're getting built up. Let's get a textile watermill started. So we'll put that down right here. Oh, I did also put a transfer station over here just to help move these goods around as well. But once we get some houses in here, we'll be able to have plenty of people to hopefully move some of these goods around and employ the textile watermills and all these other things around here. And then hopefully in the wintertime, we won't be having so many freezing deaths. It's not good. Obviously, we want to have as many people staying alive as possible, of course. Let's go ahead. We'll do one row right there of homes, and then we're going to go ahead and just fill in a few more there like so. Looks like we're waiting on, of course, the bedding set. So we mentioned that we must have our, did we get our caravan back? There it is. Okay. Yeah, now we're up to 12 laborers. It's like, that's kind of crazy. So what we could do is set up yet another trade to Carlos. Let's just check in and see where we're at. We're almost halfway there. So that was a pretty good trade. But since we're out of cats now, we are going to have to go back to Rania first and get some cats going on. We could do that. That's not that big of a deal. We actually, it is kind of a big deal. Look at our food. Food's really, really low right now. So we were just talking about that and hoping to make some adjustments over here in the fields. But I think we need to do something a little bit more quickly. And I think what we'll do is, since we have 14 laborers now, we got some people who are graduating school. Let's go ahead and make our fishing docks up to 4 people. It looks like this latrine is ready. Let's go ahead and get that set up. And I mentioned that police station. We had a worker. Let's go ahead and replace them. Get that on the way to being good again. And over here, I think I needed, yep, I got our mill going over here. I needed a worker over here for a while. It looks like I need another person over here in the compost plant as well. Let's go ahead and replace that. One more person it looks like I'm going to need in the latrine. Let's go ahead and replace that person. And now we're down to 5 workers. So maybe we want to add in a few more pastures. We could absolutely do that as well. Over here, it would not be a terrible spot to do. We have this road that kind of starts right here. We could bring this down and do some pastures over here. Let's see how far does this marketplace go. So it goes about to the end of the mountain. So what we could do is bring this road down a little bit, and we'll go about right in there and kind of tee it off. And in this area, we could do some pastures. Now, we do have this spot over here for our apiary, and we are, of course, using this forester's hut to plant as many trees as possible to have mature trees so that our apiary is producing more. We could disturb that a little bit. You can almost see where the density of the trees starts to lighten up. That's the edge of our radius here. So we could build in here, no problem. So I think we should get that started. Let's get a handful of more pastures. I'll probably do, well, I can't start one right there. Silly head. Let's go like 10 by 10s on here, and we'll do a handful of them. So we'll kind of tie and blend in both of these little neighborhoody areas with, of course, some marketplaces on either end. They're almost touching, and then we'll do the pastures in between them. So this should work pretty good in conjunction with each other. Got lots of water coming in here. Hopefully some more food with our fishies, and we'll be able to hopefully get our starvation staved off for now. But we'll see how that ends up. Looks like our textile watermill is good to go. We have flax, like I mentioned, so we could absolutely get this started. Let's make some linen and then we can trade some of it. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. And it looks like the fuel reserves are getting low. We're having a couple problems pop up here. I thought I was doing pretty good with everything. I was looking pretty happy with our situation, and I feel like I've kind of stumbled in a couple of issues, but we're going to have to continue to work on those in the next episode. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Settlement Survival, and I hope to see you on the next one. Have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night.